Journey of Sacred Destiny, Part 4. The Motion Kingdom and the Pyramid. The power of Stone Granny's whip is immense. It can drive and chop any stone in the world. Since some immortals are very interested in it, let us talk about its origin here. At the beginning of the creation of the three realms, a chess piece fell from the sleeve of an immortal from the upper realm, and it fell to the ground, becoming a mountain where no grass grew. One day, the mountain suddenly cracked open, revealing a round, black and shiny giant stone, which had been exposed to wind, sun, and rain for years, but still remained as hard as ever. One day, Pengmeng Fairy passed by and sat on the giant stone. Pengmeng is a fairy who is in charge of the growth of vegetation on barren mountains. He looked at the barren mountain and thought it was unlikely that anything would grow on it, so he left. However, he did not know that while she was resting, a seed from her pocket quietly slipped out and ran under the giant stone. Because the mountain here has a unique shape, some immortals rest on this giant stone, and the stone absorbs more spiritual energy as a result. Moreover, this seed often bounces around the giant stone and benefits from the light of the various immortals. The confused fairy took a nap on the giant stone and exhaled, letting it absorb the breath. The wandering monk's ash played with it, and a drop of saliva from an enlightened being who had no delusion fell on it. Once the seed was bouncing and hopping beside the stone, when it suddenly heard a voice coming from inside the boulder.
"You are so lucky and free. How can I even get out?"
The surprised seed asked.
"Who are you? Are you talking to me?"
The voice from inside the stone replied.
"I am a stone spirit, trapped inside. Sometimes I talk to you, but it seems like you cannot hear me. Now that you've finally heard me, we can talk from now on. We can talk to each other."
The seed was also very happy and said,
"It's a pity that I cannot see you."
"I can see you, but I am not free. You cannot see me, but you are free. If only I could be as free as you."
From then on, these two creatures often talked together. Once, the stone spirit said,
"Tell me about your experiences."
It was quite interesting following my owner. He carried us in a transparent bag and scattered some seeds on the mountains or valleys. When he reached them, after some time, he came back to see that some trees had grown on the mountains, and beautiful flowers bloomed in the valleys. He decorated the mountains with vibrant life, dazzling our eyes. Once, I saw him put a ginseng seed into a pit and said, "Stay here and grow for 1,000 years." We all talked excitedly and said that in the future, this ginseng should be called the 1,000-year-old mountain ginseng. One time, my owner hung the bag on a tree and took a nap. I saw jujube and locust beans slip out, and I looked around. The scenery was nice, with a deer in the distance, but I stayed.
"So why did you leave this time?"
There were others who had escaped before, and I gradually became interested. I did not want to see the outside through the bag anymore. I wanted to experience it for real. That's why I left.
"How do you feel here?"
This place is not very interesting, apart from occasionally seeing some immortals passing by. There is nothing to see, not even birds.
"You are lucky. If the birds come, they will eat you. Isn't there anything interesting for you here?"
Last time there was a great immortal who sat down and yawned and never woke up. While he dozed off, I followed his breath and moved back and forth, and it felt really good. There was also one dressed in rags, covered in dust, with shoes so worn his heels and toes were exposed. I've never seen an immortal like that before, and it really puzzled me.
One day, two other immortals passed by and rested on the giant rock. The short and chubby male immortal carried a pot behind his back, while the slim female immortal wore green clothes and carried a basket with branches sticking out. These two immortals were in charge of watering and planting, and were known as the Harmony Pair. While the two immortals were talking, the seed jumped out from beside the giant stone and caught the eye of the female immortal, who exclaimed in surprise,
"How did a seed get here?"
"Plant it, I'll water it, and see if anything grows."
The female immortal put the seed on the giant rock, and the male immortal poured a little water on it, forming a large water droplet. The two immortals then left. The seed was wrapped in the water droplet and could not move or speak, lying still in the water. Gradually, it felt its body expanding. After a while, a sprout grew out. With the sprout growing, the seed could talk to the stone spirit again. The roots also grew, spreading out on the mountain rocks and growing upwards with the help of sunlight and rain. The sprouts slowly grew into a long, straight stem, like a vine. Two lives still talking to each other as usual. The stone spirit increasingly hoped to come out. One day, Taoist Kenzhen passed by and immediately saw that this giant stone and the straight stem would become a magical tool. The Taoist was delighted and thought, "I'll lend you a hand." He took out a wooden sword, recited a spell, and the sword circled the stone 3 times, forming a sword energy that enveloped the stone. Then he turned and walked away. The stone slowly began to crack, weathering away as if it had been exposed to the elements for ages. After many years, it turned into a pile of sand, and the stone spirit was able to come out of the giant rock. However, it felt as if there were walls of bronze and iron all around, as it had been surrounded by the sword energy. Eventually, it was absorbed by the roots of the straight stem and became one with it. And so many more years passed. One day, the stone granny passed by and stopped when she saw this object. When she saw the stone spirit inside the straight stem, she was both surprised and delighted. The stone spirit also bowed to her from inside and hoped that she would take it in. The stone granny used her magic to forge it into a whip called the stone driving whip. The whip could expand or shrink and respond to its owner's thoughts. The stone granny used the stone driving whip to send the mysterious stone to a spot outside the city of Motion Kingdom. The deity who oversaw the appearance of auspicious signs on the earth, the Earth Omen Duke, appeared to welcome them and said,
"Granny, you have worked hard. I have already cleared a piece of land to the southeast of the city for the mysterious stone to settle in.